attainment today.
Hey guys, Joe Klemczewski, founder of the Diet Doc and the Macro Doc, and I'm going to start a new segment called the Macro Minute. It's going to be where I give you a tutorial, a tour of this new platform and how to use it, and even dive deeper into macronutrient-based dieting. You might know it as flexible dieting, or if it fits your macros, all kinds of monikers out there that describe it, but this is something that I started doing in 1993. My very first contest diet that I actually won something. I was a drug-free amateur bodybuilder. It was my first contest in the steroid-free, performance-enhancing drug-free realm, and started doing this. A lot of stories written on this, but I'm going to start breaking this down and explaining it from a layman's perspective, as well as giving some of you advanced dieters tips on how to maximize that. So today, of course, I'm going to go over a minute, but from now on, I will stick to that and give you just something really short and pointed to make sure that you know exactly how to use macro-based dieting and specifically the MacroDoc calculator. So what I want to talk about here first, as we've seen just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of profiles rolling in, we launched this just a couple days ago, and I knew a lot of people would get in there and you know, kick the tires and find out exactly what is happening with this and what it's all about. But one of the things I made sure that I explained through all of the content that accompanied the link is to do just that. Get in there, mess with your profiles. Don't just stick to one set of questions, but when it comes to your persona and your goals, try different things and print out or look at those ranges and compare that and see how you might fit within a specific range. Because if you're answering all those questions about your personal demographics, your height, your weight, your age, things like that, that's going to block you into a certain calorie range, a certain type of macronutrient formulation, and then the algorithm starts to get very specific towards your goals. And I've seen very few bugs so far, and by bugs I mean things that I might want to tweak. The algorithm, because we're not linear. When you go from somebody who's this tall to this tall, or from this weight to this weight, you don't have a normal line. It's almost like the space-time continuum. There's a curve. So there are some things we're going to work on. But for now, I want to explain the persona and your goals. So with your persona, there are moderately active, extremely active, and that's what we consider kind of the general population range. People who are just, you know, trying to live their best life, be healthy, and I want you to consider moderately active as you're starting to work out, you're improving your health. Extremely active, you could be somebody who you consider extremely athletic, but you're not really doing any kind of performance sport or something like that. So that would be where you might fit in. When you get into the actual performance sport side, which is not just athletics, but we have a lot of physique competitors in our culture, so we have a category for that. You're going to see some very specialized things. When I start talking about the actual macronutrients like protein, you'll see how I skewed those in creating the algorithm. So there you go. You can get in there, and even if you're not on one of those two sides, you can kind of cross over, like I said, and just see what that would be like. You can start tracking your macros, something we're going to talk about coming up. But you know, at least get that baseline range kind of printed out and as a known factor to you graphically. So when you get into the goals, this is where it gets a little tricky. I have lose fat, gain muscle, lose fat and gain muscle, and then maintain. Those are the four general categories you might be in. And almost everybody just defaults to, I want to lose fat and gain muscle. And because who wouldn't want to do that, right? But the thing is, metabolically, that's an incredibly fine line to walk. So calorically, if your goal is really to lose fat, that's your primary goal. If you choose lose fat and gain muscle, you're going to see that the calories and carbs skew up a little bit because we really have to walk that fine line and worry about recovery and muscle retention and so forth to more of a performance degree. So if you just choose lose fat, I assure you, you're still going to have muscle preservation, lean body mass preservation. You don't have to worry about that. So if your goal is primarily to lose fat and you want to see that 1, 2, or more pounds body fat loss, that's your goal. Choose lose fat. That's going to give you that lowest range. If you skew up a little bit to lose fat and gain muscle, you're going to see that you might lose a little slower, and that would be fine. But this is where you get to be your own best scientist and track your results. You can track your macros, track your results, and then do a lot of analytics. So many things we're going to cover in these macro minutes, but one segment at a time like that. So I'm going to try and crank them out as fast as I can so you guys always have something to be working on next. But on the next two categories, where it is to, or I should say next one, which is to maintain, you're going to see that calories definitely skew up. The percentage of fat intake goes up a little bit. Some of the reasons I'll explain later about why I choose percentages of fat versus carbs for different demographics. All of that coming up. But those are the two things I want you to think about today. Is the persona. It looks like this. I don't think you guys can see this. It's kind of whited out on the screen. But on the calculator itself, it says, what are your goals, and then choose your lifestyle. This is the place I'm talking about. But hope you guys dig in. Hope you guys continue to enjoy it. Give us some feedback, and I'll see you back here for the actual macro minute next time. Thanks.